Welcome to my weekly messages. I'm Jalela Starr. Today the topic is higher perspective on the Obama re-election and our future. You know, it doesn't matter which side of the table you're on. It seems like the emotions right now are extreme and intense. Either you're really happy he got re-elected or you're really sad that he did. But either way, one thing I'd like to say to all of you is things are not always what they seem. I know many people who re-elected Obama felt in some ways let down. Hopes were smashed, so to speak, because the last 4 years were not the dream that we envisioned when he was put into office. But when I checked in with the 90 Nibiruans just recently, because I was saying, well, where do we go from here? Okay, he got reelected. You said he was going to be reelected. You said that back in June. What's next? And the thing they said, first of all, was things are not always what they seem. So if you voted for Romney and he didn't win, do not be, what's the word I'm looking for? Don't be disheartened, because things are not as they appear. From what I am told, Obama will do a flip-flop. And what that means is that he's going to change his position on many major issues. And what we'll end up with is a president doing the things that he said he would do when he was first elected 4 years ago. And we'll see the dream that we envisioned, and hopefully a better one, come to pass. So what do we see will occur if the flip-flop occurs? Well, before I get into that, let me explain to you how we get this information, because many people don't understand. The beings that I communicate with are what they call time healers, time travelers. They are able to see timelines, and they are able to tell us which are going to be possibilities and which are going to be probabilities. Probabilities are 90% or greater that they will actually manifest. Well, these beings, they are multidimensional, so they can like jump in between dimensions, and they can see what's going on a planet's timeline. So it's like, you know, putting pasta dough through a pasta maker, and out comes the spaghetti, you know. Well, each spaghetti is like a timeline. So you've got all this energy going in to the pasta maker, and on the out comes all these strands. They can look at those strands and tell us which one has the most energy on it. That is the probability. And depending on how solid it is, how well formed it is, how little is in the others surrounding it, that determines whether it's a probability or a possibility. Going back to Obama being reelected, when they were looking back in June, at the timelines, they said that he's probably going to be reelected. And that is because they saw the most energy on that particular timeline. So now, looking in the future, they see that the timeline for him to flip-flop on several major issues has the greatest amount of energy around that as well. But there's some others that they're so in flux. It's like a cloud of energy that they cannot see what's going to come out of it yet. Those timelines are like surrounded in cotton, and there's no way to tell. So I will tell you what I am getting so far. What they're saying is that, first of all, there's going to be a major shift in the health care package. We will not be forced to have health care. There's going to be a shift around paying for illegal aliens. People from other countries coming in here and us paying for them. That appears there's going to be a shift in policy, and that is going to end. And America will start to, if not completely close their borders, they're going to become much more selective in who they allow into the United States. So there's going to be a shift around the immigration policy as well. The second thing is that there's going to be a big shift in the people who support Obama. In other words, the top players in his cabinet, Secretary of State, head of the CIA, which has already occurred, and major players in banking, finance, commerce. We're going to see you're going to go, what? All of a sudden they're going to have like affairs that come out of nowhere that, oh, they were having an affair. or they resign because they're retiring, or they've got this an amazing illness that just propped up, a tumor, a brain tumor, this, that, or the other. You're going to see some key players just go down. Some will actually be indicted. So you're going to see some of those people change. The next thing, and I'm reading from my list here, is that there will be the Federal Reserve will go bye-bye. There will be no more Federal Reserve. In fact, a lot of its duties will be taken over by the Treasury. And that's actually occurring now. And eventually we will no longer have Federal Reserve notes. We will have U.S. Treasury notes. That will happen at a time when the International Monetary Fund publicly announces the revaluation of over 100 currencies around the world. The United States will go through one, and as it appears now, that's when we will switch to U.S. Treasury notes, because our money will again be backed by gold, which it isn't now, and other natural assets that the United States has. The next thing is that we will stop interfering with Iraq's rebuilding process, which I know it's going on behind the scenes. We don't hear about it much, but the United States keeps sticking their little fingers in there, trying to control everything, and we're going to start backing off, and we're going to allow them to rebuild, and we will support them in rebuilding. So we'll be in there, but we'll be in there in a more supportive way. At the same time, we will do the same thing with other Middle Eastern countries. You're going to see a big shift in U.S. policy around the Middle East. Instead of bullying those countries to try to force them to continue using U.S. dollars as the reserve currency to buy and sell oil, you're going to see us back off of that and start to leave them alone. They will then be able to go in and resolve their differences, and they will start to have what they call they said, periods of peace. There will be no major war. Iran and Israel will work out their differences, and there will be no war there either. And that is all that they gave me. They said there are other areas that are, like I said, too unsettled to be able to tell us. The energy is too much in flux right now for them to be able to tell us where the energy is going to be. It just hasn't emerged yet. But look for the next 50 days to see tremendous changes. And it's like every day you wake up, you want to go turn on the news to see what new thing is going to happen next. This is a time, the last big push. So it's going to be chaotic. It's going to be a lot of shifting and changing and transforming. But like I said, the timeline that comes out of all this, the major timeline, which all these little things are occurring on, appears to be a big flip-flop and a transformation into the world that we want to have. Now, what can you do to make certain that happens? Because we're all involved in this. Remember what we've been told over and over again, that the leader of a nation is a mirror of the consciousness of its people. So whatever they do is a mirror of what's going on in the personal lives of the individuals. So if the individuals are not taking responsibility for the power that they want, and they're still allowing fear to stop them from really stepping forward and doing what they need to do, then you're going to see the nation's leader do the very same thing. We've seen 4 years of that, but now we have grown up a lot, and we are really realizing that it is in our power and in our hands to determine which timeline succeeds. So as we continue to take responsibility for our lives on a personal level, resolving issues with family members, resolving issues with coworkers and friends, setting boundaries, owning your stuff, you're going to see your nation's leader do the same. So we've been successful so far. We're doing great. Let's keep doing it. I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.